Hi everyone and welcome back to the Morse Coders. Today's topic is computer and its characteristics. By this time we have understood the definition of computer multiple times, and it is a fast electronic device which has the capability to process the raw data and tasks according to a set of instructions which are known as programs, and it should produce some useful output or information for consumption. So it is basically an electronic device which accepts data as input, processes that data, and communicates the result as output. And the operations or the processes which we're talking about, it can include calculations, browsing, running applications, and so on. In a nutshell, the CPU is the brain of the computer, which is basically an electronic circuit within a computer which executes all these instructions. So we need to understand the blocks of CPU or the architecture of CPU. On the right hand side, we have a block diagram of CPU which represents the input unit, the output unit, and a number of processing units which include the ALU or the arithmetical logical unit, the CU or the control unit, and the MU or the memory unit. As the name suggests, the ALU or the arithmetic logical unit carries out the arithmetic and logical operations. The control unit, on the other hand, controls all the operations that are currently being performed. First, we'll understand the memory unit. The memory unit is nothing but a storage unit which stores all your program data and instructions. The next comes the register unit. So the register is nothing but a small amount of memory which is very fast in nature and is built inside the CPU. What happens is that these registers stores the current data and the instructions which are needed by the CPU to perform any operations. So that means that there is a small amount of memory reserved inside the CPU which carries the program and the data which are needed by the CPU to process a current set of instructions that is available in the register memory. And the last is the input and output, which basically sends and receives the data to and fro from the user. The next very important topic we have is key characteristics of computers, which means how you can distinguish whether a given machine is a computer or not. The first characteristic is speed. As we know that the computers have the capability to process large amount of data at very fast speed. That means that the operations that could be performed by humans in hours could be performed by computers in mere seconds. The next is diligence, which means the ability to perform repetitive tasks or a large task without getting tired. So we know that a computer can conduct millions of calculations with complete accuracy without stopping, getting tired, or lacking concentration. Also, the computers have the large memory ability. That means they can store a large amount of data as compared to humans. The third characteristic is automation, which means that once an instruction is given to a computer, it can perform that repetitive task without needing any human intervention. So the repetitive tasks like data processing, running those calculations, and executing commands could be performed with the help of automation. The next characteristic is storage, which means that the computers have the ability to store large amount of data in temporary memory, that is RAM or random access memory, as we discussed this in previous lecture, or it can be in the form of permanent storage like hard drives, solid state drives, or even cloud storages. So when we have the data stored in these permanent storages, it can be retrieved and used over time. The next characteristic is accuracy, which means that computers can perform calculations and tasks, eliminating all the human errors and giving highly accurate results. Although we need to understand that computers will give us only that those amount of accurate results as much as accurate data and instructions is given to them, because in the end it is nothing but a mere machine which would perform all the processing based upon the data and input that is given to those. The next important characteristic is versatility, which means that the ability to perform a large variety of tasks. We know that computer can perform these wide variety of tasks, which can range from many simple calculations to complex simulations. This allows a computer to be used in different application domains like word processing, gaming, research purposes, and even in domains like video editing. Then comes connectivity. Connectivity means that modern day computers are not just connected by internet, but they're also connected to other devices like your smart homes, your smart watches, and so on, which basically allows these global networks to communicate and exchange the data. The next characteristic is interactivity, which means that the computers allow the users to interact through user interfaces. One very popular user interface is graphical user interface, and the humans often need input devices like a keyboard, mouse, or a touch screen to interact with those computers. The next is multitasking, which means that the computers have the ability to perform multiple tasks at a single given point of time. This basically means that, say for example, I am recording this video, but at the background task there might be another spreadsheet which is open in my computer. So this comes in the category of multitasking. The last characteristic is control, which means that all the operations that are performed by computer are under the control of a CPU or a central processing unit, as we discussed. The CPU has the capability to interpret and process those instructions which are given to it. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, The Most Coders. Until next time, happy coding.